Hello, everyone. My story begins in 2009. 2009 is the year when Beirut was chosen as #1 touristic destination in the world by the New York Times. It also happens to be the year when I got kicked out of New York by the financial crisis due to lack of employment opportunities. So I was headed back to Beirut with a master's from Columbia University, eager to start a career in real estate development, full of hopes, dreams, just waiting to get there. A couple of months down the line, I made a powerful realization, very powerful realization. I realized that working in Beirut was not as fun as partying in Beirut. And there's a couple of reasons for that. For one, electricity is constantly cutting. Internet is so slow, and you have to be constantly bribing people just to stay in business. And even once you've done that and your business is picking up, a bomb takes off somewhere. And so it's not an ideal situation, and it was weighing on me, and I got to that point where I started asking myself all these questions about, is this what I really want to do for the rest of my life? Is this what I was destined for? And I got to that point where I was only looking for a ticket out. And that's when something else happened. I met a couple of people who had amazing opportunities abroad and decided to leave everything behind and come to Lebanon to establish a business in Lebanon. I found that very intriguing, and I teamed up with them, and together we decided to build a different reality, our reality, an alternative reality, even an alternative city, and we called it AltCity. So what is AltCity? In short, it's a hub for all innovators in the fields of media, design, and technology. The idea came when we asked ourselves, what would happen if we gathered a bunch of amazing people, put them in one room, and gave them everything they needed to build successful enterprises? So we started doing this. We rented this very unique location in a central part of the city, and we poured in it the 3 ingredients which we think have the potential to change the way we think of our society, the way we think of our economy. The 3 ingredients are 1, great infrastructure, 2, inspiring spaces, and 3, people. Let's start with the first one. We want to make sure that every enterprise in Lebanon doesn't have to worry about electricity or internet. And in the 21st century, any competitive startup is a startup that communicates with customers from another city in the world, with clients and partners from other cities in the world. So we want to provide high-tech video conferencing equipment that links AltCity to other centers of innovation around the world. Number 2 is inspiring spaces. We want AltCity to be a place where entrepreneurs can eat, meet, and learn from each other and start up competitive enterprises. And so we've subdivided our space into a cafe and a restaurant where people, freelancers, journalists, work in an informal setup while having all the necessary business services. It's not a regular cafe. We have a media wall with 10 LCD screens monitoring international news channels. Right next to that is a large event space area with seating for 60 people. It's where all the panels, discussions, workshops, trainings happen. It's one of the most vibrant areas of the space. And we also have a shared workspace. So we've got the infrastructure, we've got the spaces, but the ingredient that makes this thing work is people. And workshop after workshop, event after event, the space is becoming more of a reflection to the local community and is helping shape this community into communities of practice and communities of support around these themes of media, design, technology, and their intersections. I'm often asked, Samer, you're an engineer, you have a master's degree from Columbia, why don't you go to Dubai, make a couple of extra grand per month, and live a much better life? And I'm going to be honest here, it is something that I have repeatedly considered, especially when obstacles seem so difficult to overcome. But then I remember why we're doing this. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want to prove to ourselves and to others that it is possible to build an alternative reality, to have a life that is fulfilling even in that part of the world. I think the word that catches up this idea is hope. And hope is this feeling. It's this burning desire that tells you to keep moving forward despite all evidence that you shouldn't. It's that same burning desire that ignited the Arab Spring. It's that same burning desire that is currently raging fire in the streets of Syria. It's the same burning desire that fills the hearts of every man, woman, and child in occupied Palestine. I think the most memorable achievement of the Arab Spring is that it reminded us all of this fundamental truth, that humans matter. All humans matter, including the ones living in the MENA region. And I think that it's this universal truth that will shape the way for a new spring, the social entrepreneurship spring. It's a spring where every young man and woman is empowered to look at the reality that says that we need about 10 million jobs over the next 10 years to sustain current levels of unemployment. It's a spring where every young man and woman looks at this reality in its eyes and feels empowered to seek out opportunities within their communities and build enterprises that generate wealth while keeping the human, the social, the environmental components at the core of their existence. Our hope at AltCity is to help ignite this social entrepreneurship spring. Thank you.